Gobble. And here we are. What show is this? What show is it? For the viewers out there who are unaware of what show this is.
You just accidentally clicked on the link.
Or if you flipped on the channels with the TV. This is technical. This is a technical foul show. I'm Jonathan Bada. This is
Raj Khan.
This is Raj. I'm Jim. So yeah, we should. I thought about having like one of those awkward clapping moments for every show, like we did last time when the NBA season started. But I thought it would ruin the special occasion that was last show, which was the day before the NBA. Wait, no, this is the NBA season's been back for 2 weeks now, right? Or just 1 week?
Just one.
So okay, I got it. So yeah, what are some big storylines? What should we talk about after 1 week?
Sixers?
1 week in the NBA.
Best team in the league, perhaps.
You making a prediction?
No.
I think Raj has a prediction. He'd like to come out and tell the rest of the
I'm pretty sure everyone's aware.
About how
even our producer Ali, who is not a fan of basketball, knows about the 76ers and their 3-0 record. Or no, 3-1 record.
Did they lose?
They lost.
To who?
They lost against... I forgot.
Cool. It's a basketball show, guys. This is what you come here for.
You didn't even know they lost.
This is what
they lost.
No, I knew
they had a bad game.
I knew they were going to lose, but I didn't know that they lost. I looked at their record and I was like, oh, that's
Cleveland.
a loss. That's a loss. That's a loss. That's a loss. Hey, Cleveland.
No, not Cleveland.
Let's talk about Cleveland for a second.
Golden State.
Yeah. Anthony Bennett, number one.
Stephen, remember they blew him out? He came back and he had like 8 threes.
Spencer Hawes is at minus like 42 at one point. I think that's how he closed the game.
Iggy though had a career night. Come back to Philadelphia.
Yeah, that's always nice when a guy comes back, especially for the way they treated him, which wasn't very well. You spoke of Cleveland for a second there. Anthony Bennett still without a basket. The number one draft pick.
He's now 0-16.
He is he? I thought about picking him up in fantasy because we'll talk about Tyson Chandler a little bit later in the show.
I kind of want this to go on. I kind of want him to not score for.
What if he never scores? What if he gets like hurt and like is out for the season and has the number one pick, never scored a basket? I'm sure that's happened before.
I'm sure it's happened in an
At number one
not coming
guys.
in and playing and never scoring.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, we can go back to Philadelphia real quick. It's a nice story. I don't know why they're winning these games because I don't think that they want to.
I mean, they won against Miami, and then they won against the Bulls.
Well, okay, against Miami, it was Miami's day after, or the game the day after.
Still
they had the big thing.
You don't expect Mark Carter-Williams to have 22 points, 12 assists, and 8 steals?
Oh yeah, great. You know who the last guy to have a double-double like that was? Damon Stoudemire. Actually, no. That was to have 2 double-doubles in his first 2 games, I think, is what Michael Carter-Williams had. And the last guy to do that was Damon Stoudemire.
Interesting.
R.I.P. Damon. He's not dead. So Philadelphia beats a couple of good teams at home, and you think, oh, maybe they got a shot. The coach is looking really good. Basically, all that they really do is, and we can break it down a little bit in basketball sense here.
Run.
They just do a lot of running, and they've tried to take. Where's the coach from? He's from Brett Brown, I think his name is.
San Antonio.
He's from San Antonio. He tried to take some of the the spacing type things that the San Antonio Spurs like to do, and basically just let the point
Another
guard
thing
run
that they're
around.
doing though is they're shooting pretty early in the shot clock.
Yeah.
They're not usually. I mean, the Spurs usually take their time. They run an offense. They're not really doing that, and
Yeah, that's true.
I think part of that could be because they are trying to tank.
They have a green light to shoot. If you are a good shooter in that squad, you have the right to shoot no matter what.
Right.
And that's because I think that they won't get a better shot.
They're athletic. They're pretty young and athletic, so they're running.
Right, but like their offense isn't going to come up with a better shot. If you have an open shot, you might as well take it because there's no guarantee you're going to get another
Either way,
shot
they're probably going to lose the rest of the games
per possession. Yeah, they might be the first team to go 79 and 0-79. So
That's not gonna happen.
would it be 0-78?
0
0-79.
No, because they're 3. Oh,
0-79.
8.
Well, no, it would be 79 now because you count the last one too.
Oh.
Oh, okay. So yeah, and basically, there's with some good games. I mean, we see just some quick hits around the league. The Wolves look really good. I mean, look, I've been saying for the last 2 years the Wolves look good. Kevin Love got hurt 2 years ago. Or no, Rubio got hurt 2 years ago. Kevin Love got hurt last year. and so it's had some injury problems. But they look really good this year.
Kevin Martin shooting the ball.
Kevin Martin, I should have traded for him in fantasy. I got the offer and then I got.
Kevin Martin had his best seasons when he was under Rick Adelman.
Yeah.
And he's back under Rick Adelman. He's under.
Sure.
He's playing.
Wait, I don't know if he had his best seasons because he was okay in Sacramento before Rick Adelman was
Rick
there.
Adelman.
I don't think he was there the whole time.
He was there for part of it, at least. And then when he went to Houston, he played well when Rick Adelman was there.
Remember Paul Westphal?
But yeah. Anyway, he's a guy who cuts and shoots.
Yeah.
When you're playing with Rubio, who will find you, and Love, who usually has the ball. When you're kind of like that guy,
outlets.
Yeah. When you're that guy who's just kind of running around, doesn't really need to score, you're gonna do well in that system.
Yeah. I think they're going to be one of my... So, League Pass lets you pick 5 teams if you don't buy all of them. Because I bought... Long story short, I bought League Pass Mobile. He bought League Pass Mobile. $40 was a good deal. And then I'm going to buy the 5-team package where you get 5 teams. And I'm going to get probably Miami, the Wolves, Golden State, maybe Cleveland. I don't really know. Is Kyrie worth it? And maybe Houston, I guess. Maybe the Clippers. I don't know. This is just I haven't thought it out yet, but they're probably gonna be one of the teams that I pick to be my 5 thing. Anyway, we're gonna take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the Tyson Chandler injury, which is big news today. So stick around. Welcome back. So yeah, the Tyson Chandler injury. Tyson Chandler went down in the game against. I don't know who it was against. Doesn't matter. Really doesn't matter. But they thought that maybe it was a knee sprain,
Charlotte.
and it turns out who?
Charlotte.
Who was it?
The Bobcats.
Turns out that he actually has some sort of fracture in his leg, in his in the fibula. The fibula. Is that a bone? The tibia.
It is a bone.
Tibia. I don't really know much about biology. However, yeah, so he's at 46 weeks, and that's a big deal
for
the Spurs, or not for the Spurs, for the Spurs. It's a big deal for the Spurs, guys. Listen, for the Knicks because he's really their only defender. I mean, you put Shumpert out there, but honestly, he hasn't quite looked like the same player as he was.
It's not even just being about the only defender; it's about being the only big.
Bargnani
doesn't count as a big. Kenny Martin's a little small.
He's 7 foot tall.
And
7-footer.
So you're basically stuck with Amari, who has a limit restriction.
Amari?
So
yeah, he got dropped in fantasy.
You don't just have like a big guy to just stand there and put his body there. They don't even have that at the very least.
Yeah,
and that's gonna really hurt. It hurt him. You saw when he went out. Kemba Walker got in the lane.
Kemba's
a tiny guy.
Kemba's
layups after layups. He had 25.
Kemba's shorter than me. He might be shorter than you.
Anyway, that's gonna hurt. He's gonna be out. They say 4 to 6 weeks. I would say more on the 6 weeks.
It's gonna hurt my fantasy team. Let's talk about that. I only have 3 bigs, and he's one of them. And Vucevic is my guy now. He better be putting up 20 and 20. DeAndre Jordan.
Can I tell you something? No one cares.
Yeah, they don't care.
What they do care is about how the Knicks are going to do, which is bad because they're already off to a 1-3 start. They're already pretty bad, and they're just going to be worse.
Yeah.
I said the Knicks weren't going to be good. I was kind of right, but now that Tyson's going to be out, they're going to be.
You didn't say they weren't going to be. You said they get the 5 seed.
I said yeah.
Yeah, which that's good. That's okay. You get the 5 seed. You're better than more teams than you're not better than in the East. So think about that.
A lot of the teams don't really count. Boston don't count.
Boston counts. They were in the playoffs like 8 years in a row or whatever.
No, teams that are trying to tank don't count.
6 years in a row.
Boston though, 0-4, first time since 1969.
Yeah, I saw that.
And how about the Wizards that we thought were gonna
1969.
They're 0-3. I think Randy Woodman gets fired.
Fire Randy.
I've been saying fire Randy for the past 2 or 3
Yo,
seasons.
anytime your coach is named Randy.
Ever since Randy has taken over from Flip Saunders, I say get rid of him.
Anytime he's been there for like 2 years.
Yeah, I've been saying to get rid of him.
Yeah.
And from day one.
Who did they get? Who did they replace him with? Stan Van?
George Karl. George Karl is a guy who will come out, he will get the best out of your players. He will utilize their talent.
Yeah, and Ty Lawson and John Wall, similar players.
Got a lot of talent. Bradley Beal got a lot of talent. Otto Porter, I haven't really seen him, but he's got talent. And he coached
Jan
Nene.
Vesley.
Coached Nene during Nene's
Got a
good
lot
times.
of talent.
During Nene's good times.
Marcin Gortat.
I'm
Got
just
a lot of
saying.
talent.
These
Let's go
guys
down
are-
the whole roster.
No, those are the only talent. Yeah, these other guys aren't that talented. But George Karl's a great coach.
I agree,
I
yeah.
think you should go after him.
Top 5 coach. I think right now he's number 5 in wins overall, total wins.
And they're playing the Sixers tonight. If they lose,
Yeah.
I say Randy Whitman's gone by.
Randy Whitman's gone.
He's gone by end of the league.
Get him. We're not really fans of Randy.
I don't like Randy. And Ernie Grunfeld, the GM, should be gone too.
Ernie Grunfeld's been there for 10 years.
He really needs to
He's
go.
been there for 10 years, and they made the playoffs like 3 times. Yo.
This guy traded the number 5 pick for Mike Miller and Randy Foy.
Yeah, but at the time, that was an okay deal because they were trying to go for the playoffs. They were trying to... Look, in hindsight, you say, no, it was a bad deal. They would have Rubio and blah, blah, blah.
Still,
But,
Mike Miller, and Randy Foy are not worth the number 5 pick that turned out to be Rubio.
well, yeah, but at the time, Randy Foy was like pretty good, and Mike Miller was also pretty good, and they had a good playoff team that was just trying to get pushed to maybe like the 4 seed, and it ended up not working out.
I still, you could have done better.
Of
with
all
that.
the trades...
I support trading the 5th
Mm.
pick. I don't support trading the 5th pick for those 2 picks.
Okay, fine. You know, you never know what the market's like. But listen, you have, of all the things that he's done that haven't been good, I wouldn't say that's the worst.
Jan Vesley.
He drafted Jan Vesley. He drafted Chris Singleton. Those 2 guys don't think they can play. A lot of the draft picks he's had, really other than John Wall and Bradley Beal, which with those 2 guys, we knew they were going to be good from the start. So it's not like he's found anybody. Otto Porter, you never know what's going to happen with him. But, you know, throughout the years, he hasn't had a good track record for evaluating talent. He got Gilbert Arenas together, but then again, he was kind of a scrap guy too. Like he was,
As well as Antoine.
yeah.
And Perron. But, I mean, that was also a while ago. He's done now. He's got to move out to a new situation. If you
I want Stan
someone wants to
Van.
take that.
Bring Stan Van back to the league. That'd be nice.
As a GM?
No, as like a coach.
I'd say George
Instead
Karl
of-
as a coach. That's
Well,
a better.
George Karl might have
He'd
he
be a
might
better
have
fit for that
He
team.
might have a contract right now with ESPN because he's on ESPN. So
I was
might
reading
be
that
good,
he's
yeah.
available, but I mean, he can always do this when he come back. But I think that'd be great. I'm pretty disappointed the Wizards are off to a 0-3 start, but that's okay. And anything else?
You got something else?
Not necessarily. We can take a break, come back, talk about an interesting topic.
Just an interesting topic. No, we're gonna be ambiguous, so we call that a tease. Stick
If
around.
people want to come back. Welcome back.
Good times here at the Technical Foul Show.
I'm a little tired. I was taking a nap right before the show.
Anything else? You want to tell us what you had for lunch? Something.
What did I had the hibachi place at Origami.
I was actually there too. Listen, so we've thought the season started out pretty well for the Indiana Pacers and Paul George.
However, I want to throw out that they did beat some pretty bad teams.
Okay.
Orlando,
Bad.
Boston,
I don't know, but bad.
and another bad team.
Bad.
All 4 teams that they played are not playoff teams / trying to make the playoffs.
Yeah. So listen, Orlando, we can talk about them too. Free Oladipo, I'm starting to chant. I'm starting the bandwagon.
Why do
I'm
you
starting the
free
hashtag.
That's like saying free Michael Carter Williams. That'll
No, Michael Carter Williams actually starts for 1, and he gets 40 minutes a game for 2. Oladipo's getting like 29, 25.
Orlando's trying to tank.
Play Oladipo.
They will trade Jameer.
Trade Jameer. Trade Aflalo. Trade them all. I don't care. Just
Right.
play Oladipo.
Anyway.
The home Oladipo.
Anyway.
I think it's a good nickname. Might stick. Might not. It's a little long. It's a little long.
Paul George played well. 27, 8 and 8 is what he's averaging. No, 27, 8 and 4. Sorry.
Yeah, he ain't got 8 assists.
27, 8 and 4. Good numbers, but he's also putting up like 17 or 18 shots a game.
Yeah,
which is a lot.
A bit high. It's a bit high.
Bit high.
It's a bit high.
Anyway, we came to a little debate.
Not really.
Well, not really.
It's more
But
of a discussion.
Was
More of an
is
idea.
is Paul George a top 10 player in the league? Not in terms of fantasy or in terms of statistical points, but just if you had to take him on your team right now, in terms of impact your team, someone you could build around, would you take Paul George?
But it's for this year. It's for this year,
season.
not for
this season
their
is starting.
careers.
This 2013-2014 season. You could say, oh, well, I expect Rondo to come back and be the best player ever. You could say that, but that's not going to happen. Because we're talking about this season.
You might be wrong. You could say that, but you'd be wrong.
You'd be wrong. I came up with 9 players that I think I would take over him. He came up with 10. So he puts Paul George at 11. I put him at 10. You want to tell people why?
I don't know.
You should tell us. Give us your opinions on it.
Yeah, I mean, we can break it down. Like, there's a few guys that are the best players in the league.
4 sure guys, not in the specific order, but LeBron, Durant, CP3, and Rose. Probably 4 specific guys, 4 for sure guys.
And Rose at this point, this year, I don't know if you'd actually want Rose, but in general, you trust a guy like Rose. He's got an MVP, you think. Even though he might have not have had a great season so far, he might turn it around.
It's only been 3 games. I'll still take him. That's 4 guys for sure. Other ones that are debatable, but even though for me they're for sure, I would take Dwight. I know you agree.
Harden, Kevin Love,
and Westbrook.
Westbrook's
That's
another
8.
one.
No. Yeah,
Ines Cantor is another one. Just kidding.
Jan Vested.
I like Ines. Cantor.
That's 8 right there.
Ines.
It was the other 2.
Ines.
Is where do we put Paul George? That's where you kind of debate Melo.
Sure.
You debate.
Sorry to come up with these off the top of your head.
Sorry.
Rando.
Melo, Irving,
Rando.
Tony Parker,
Rando.
and Steph
Kobe.
Curry.
Kobe.
Steph
Some
Curry.
people also put Kobe on there. D Wade. Another guy put D Wade on there. D Wade's not having that great of a season, but D Wade does have some stuff. He plays good defense. You give him the ball at the end of a game. Maybe he can make something for you. I don't know.
The only thing is, I would take Paul George over Melo because Paul George. First of all, Melo is not a horrible defender as people think he is. He's not that bad. But
he's
Paul
bad.
George.
He's just not as atrocious as people make him out to be.
No, he's okay.
I would say
It's just
he's
people,
below average.
I would say if
below
anything
average.
he's slightly below average. I don't think he's that bad. I'll look up.
Right, he's not
numbers.
he's not Bargnani, he's not Steve Novak, he's not Steve Nash, but he's not very good. So
Anyway, Paul George does play both ends. That's why I take Paul George, even though Melo's a better scorer.
sure, I agree.
However, Tony Parker is a debatable one. I think Tony Parker's getting kind of older.
Won the EuroLeague
slowing down.
MVP. Listen, he won the EuroLeague MVP. That counts for something
He does.
in the EuroLeague.
I mean, he was also 28 seconds away from winning a Finals MVP, and
Oh.
he was in the debate.
Oh.
He was in like top 5 debate last year for MVP anyway, or season MVP.
Yeah, sure.
But I would still take probably Paul George just because of height and other skills that he could do.
Other
rebounding.
skills. He's got other skills.
But personally,
Dribbling is not one of them.
you take Stephen Curry.
Yeah.
I wouldn't. I think that's where the debate is because we both agree that we would take Kyrie over him.
Kyrie's a tough one, but I don't know. I think
Kyrie's the other debate because here's my point on that.
Okay, go ahead.
If you put Kyrie on Pacers right now, take away Paul George, they're not as good as a team. But they would be a better team against the Heat, which is the team that you want to beat. Because what's the Heat's biggest problems? Quick point guards.
Which is not really
Which is
the
Kyrie.
case. Not anymore, anyway.
Quick point guards.
Not in fourth quarters.
And big guys. When you got Hibbert and West, which we already know they're a problem for Miami.
Hey, listen.
And now you
Can
got
finish
Kyrie.
your point. Go ahead.
I think a lot of times Pacers, they would trap George Hill. They would trap, Lance Stevens. They would trap DJ Augustine because they couldn't dribble.
Oh,
They couldn't
God,
handle the ball.
the DJ Augustine experiment. Is he in the league still?
Yeah, he's in Toronto.
That's where they go. To
Kyrie has
that's where basketball players
probably
go
the
to
best
die.
handles in the league, in my opinion. But he's definitely top up there.
He hadn't done anything
He's
this
quick.
year, but yeah.
He can dribble around. He can finally get the ball inside to those guys. What Paul George does, he's gonna shoot. Once you can find another shooter, you can find another defender to put on LeBron. Which not
Hey,
an
good luck.
issue.
Good luck finding a defender for LeBron.
No one's gonna shut him down. It's not like Paul George shut him down.
No, it
I
was
mean,
actually kind of fun. To
One,
watch
you
him go
still
back
do
and
have
forth.
Danny Granger, and whatever he can contribute. But I feel like you can go out there, you can find another shooter. But the things that Kyrie will do for them, he can still pick up the same amount of scoring that Paul George will do. Maybe better efficiency. I know right now he's shooting only 37%, but that's only 3 games.
14 points.
But he'll get you the assists
Yeah.
to run that team. Their offense is bad. That's the problem. Is they have, even though right now they're 4-0, they're still 22nd in offense. Their offense is not good. They weren't
Indiana.
good last year. Yeah.
Yeah, David West.
Kyrie
is-
would speed up that up. I feel like the defense would still be there with Hibbert and West and those guys, and the whole. They're more like a system kind
Listen,
of team.
I don't know if you can play.
Hibbert, by the way, is blocking shots left and right now.
Left and right.
Yeah. He had like 7 blocks yesterday.
Left, right.
I think he speeds up that offense. I think he's gonna do a lot of things.
We don't know if Roy Hibbert can play in a sped up offense. I would like to say this about Kyrie. Last game of the season last year for the Cavaliers, or one of the last ones, Kyrie was like trying to get the last. They had a shot for the game winner, and Kyrie had the ball. Norris Cole was on him. Miami wasn't playing their starters. Norris Cole was on him, locked him down, stole the ball from him. Miami won. Nice little anecdote. But I think that quick point guards don't really bother Miami anymore. I've watched all their games this year. I do think that big players still bother them a little bit, but that's only for now when they have Greg Oden coming back and all that stuff.
I disagree. I think first of all, Kyrie is definitely quicker. No one has seen the handles that he has. Tony Parker hurt them. Yeah, you can put LeBron on anyone. You can put LeBron on Paul George. It's gonna be the same thing.
Right, but he shuts down little players. He didn't shut down Paul George.
He may shut down his jump shot, but he's not gonna shut down the way he dribbles and gets in the lane.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm just saying. That's kind of a weird. It's hard to compare players in different systems. I don't really necessarily agree with it all the time, but yeah, I mean that's just an interesting debate. Where do you place? How do you value your players? This always comes up with the MVP, which is kind of a similar topic to talk about. But anyway, we're looking forward to some games coming up this week. Are there any good ones? I'm not really familiar with the schedule at this point. But I'm looking forward to watching more Golden State. They're kind of a surprising team. I'm looking forward.
Really. Everyone knew they were going to be pretty decent.
Pretty decent, but I mean they were ranked the most exciting team in the league by the general managers and by other.
Which they kind of
polls.
are.
Obviously, it's
And
debate.
people expect them to be top 5 in the West, which they probably will be. So
Yeah,
that's
the
not
Clippers.
really surprising.
The Clippers is another one. They're not quite as good as you expected. And I'm saying some people thought they were going to be the best team with that offense. JJ Redick, shout out to JJ. Giving JJ a shout out.
Shout out
He's
to Monte Ellis.
He's on my fantasy team. We didn't even talk about Roger's favorite player, Monte. We'll see what happens next week if Monte's still playing well.
Monte, 53%, 8 assists. Shooting 53%.
Anything else?
Gobble gobble.
Go Hokies.